Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your Friday afternoon habit. This is Chakrachat. I am Teacher Sam, and in a few while, the other Chakra Yoga teachers will be joining us here as well. We have Teacher XT, Teacher Echo, and Teacher Nat. But for the meantime, while waiting for the others, just to tell everyone, we're not starting yet. We are just opening, though, our comment section so that you can already post your questions so that our discussion for this afternoon will be as exciting as the ones we have in the previous sessions of Chakra Chat. So this week's Chakra Chat is brought to you by our generous sponsors from PDO, especially through the help of a very good friend of mine, Sir Jesse Tolod, and our media partner, we have Strong Radio. Thank you again for our sponsors for making our live discussions and our virtual classes available for a lot of our subscribers and all our yogis and yoginis around our country. And we invite, of course, our entrepreneurs out there, especially our local businesses, to help us in our cause by sponsoring our virtual yoga classes and our Chakra Chat sessions every Friday. Your resources and your sponsorship will surely help us in our cause of bringing mindfulness, one breath, one movement at a time. So again, we invite everyone, especially our viewers that already tuned in right now, to please um, comment your questions down this area so that we can have our discussions exciting, no, for today's chakra chat. And shortly, we will be joined by our other yoga teachers of Chakra Yoga Studio so that these questions of yours will be responded accordingly. So once again, good afternoon, and we will be waiting for a little while so that the others can log in. For those who just tuned in, I am requesting that you write your questions already because this chakra chat for this afternoon is dedicated for us to answer the questions that you have about yoga. So I'm sure that there are a lot of you who have a lot of questions in your yoga practice, and this is the perfect time for you to ask them away as the four of us, your four yoga teachers, will be able to find ways in order for us to respond better to your questions. Okay. Once again, this is your Friday afternoon habit. Welcome to Chakra Chat. My name is Teacher Sam, and joining us in a while is your Chakra Yoga teachers. We have Teacher XT, Teacher Echo, and Teacher Nat. So we will start exactly at 2:30. Right now, you can just input your questions in the comment section below so that once we start, we will have all your questions in as much as we could to answer and respond to them accordingly. Thank you. Once again, welcome to your Friday afternoon habit. Welcome to our viewers. You are watching Chakrachat, and I am Teacher Sam, and I will be joined later by your Chakra Yoga teachers, Teacher XT, Teacher Echo, and Teacher Nat. Before we begin our discussion, I would just like to give some words of acknowledgement. The first one is our Chakra Chat is brought to you by our generous sponsors from BDO, and especially through the help of a very good friend of mine, Sir Jesse Tolot, and our media partner. And we also have Strong Radio. Thank you again for our sponsors for making our live discussions now and our virtual classes available for a lot of our subscribers and all our yogis and yoginis around the country. And we invite, of course, our entrepreneurs out there, especially our local businesses, to help us in our costs by sponsoring our virtual yoga classes. Your resources will surely help us in our cause of bringing mindfulness to each person, one breath, one movement at a time. And just to inform everyone who are watching Chakra Chat, so we will be starting um, as soon as the clock hits 2:30. And just to remind everyone of our classes for this week, no, our remaining classes. Later at 4:30, we will be having the class of Teacher Nat's Yin Yoga. And tomorrow at 2:30, we will be having Teacher XD's modified Ashtanga class. And then on Sunday, we will be having Teacher Echo's sound healing class at 9 p.m. Again, our classes for this week is brought to you by our generous sponsors coming from BDO. Thank you for making it happen. And also our media partner, Strong Radio. So we'll just wait for the others to log in, and we'll be starting in really a few while. It's already 2:18 and we are 12 minutes away from starting our Chakra Chat. So once again, you are tuning in to Chakra Chat, and just a reminder for the classes or later up until Sunday. So later at 4:30, we will be having Teacher Nat's Yin Yoga. At 2:30 tomorrow, we will be having Teacher XT's modified Ashtanga class. And on Sunday at 9 in the evening, we will be having Teacher Echo's sound healing. No? I've tried the sound healing of Teacher Echo. It's a very wonderful class, especially for those who are having difficulties in sleeping. That would be a very good class for you to attend to right before you expire for your Sunday evening rest. Okay, it's already 2:19, and we're just waiting for the others to log in. But for those who are already tuning in, and if you have questions about yoga, some of your concerns, perhaps you can place it in the comment section below, and we will try as much as possible for them to be answered. I hope that you'd be able to share these concerns because this is your opportunity for your yoga teachers to respond to these questions that you have. Okay, so we'll just wait for about 10 more minutes and we're good to go to begin our Chakra Chat session for this afternoon. So once again, my name is Teacher Sam, and I'm your Hatha Yoga teacher every Tuesdays and Thursday. So I hope that some of my students out there are watching our Chakra Chat sessions, and please um, include your questions by dropping it in the comment section below so that we would be able to respond to them accordingly. Okay, it's 2:21 and we're just uh, about to start. our session for this afternoon. So while we're waiting for the others, you can already um, place your questions in the comment section below so that we could already start responding to them, especially when our teachers have already um, tune in and be here in our backstage for our discussion. Okay, any questions out there? Um, we're just waiting for our teachers and we're good to go. So we are going to start promptly at 2:30. We have 9 minutes before we begin. So right now I have Teacher Echo and Teacher XT in our backstage. So I'll introduce them in a while. So just sit back and relax, and we're about to begin in about 8 minutes. So just to recap what we have had in our session last week. So I'm not sure if you're going to agree with me, but for those who were able to view um, our live stream video last week, we had a very fruitful discussion about mind setting and positivity. I'm not sure if you would be able to remember it, but for us, no, it has been a very, very engaging discussion that we have had. From our discussion, we zeroed in to three important components that can help us contribute in our disposition or in having a positive mindset. No? So in our discussion, there are three components that we emphasize. That is, those are curating what's in our mind, being grateful, and having words of affirmation every day, and the importance of connection, especially during these times of pandemic. So I think that one of the things that you would be able to remember most is having strong connections, as we jokingly have seen how Teacher Echo and I lost connections because of our internet connection. No? But the connection that we're talking about here is the connection between people or between your loved ones. And we understand that having positive mindset would start also with good connections, right? So we also talked about last week about the importance of yoga and how it can actually help us deal with our anxieties. If I remember it right, I think teacher Nat mentioned that it is the engagement of our breath in the practice and our mindful awareness that actually brings the magic of yoga. So for this afternoon, we chose this topic because the practice of yoga, especially in our city, Cagayan de Oro, is not as popular as other areas in the Philippines in terms of its practice. People commonly know Zumba, going to the gym, or even CrossFit as a regular physical activity. Thus, whenever we have friends who are curious about yoga, they ask us about yoga, and we learn that there seems to be a lot of misconceptions that at times prevent them from practicing yoga. So, if you are just curious about what yoga is, or if you just wanted to continue nurturing your yoga practice, this episode is perfect for you. So, Chakra Chat for this afternoon is all about asking, no, asking questions about yoga. So, we are going to talk anything about yoga for this afternoon. So, but before we begin our chat this afternoon, we remind those who are viewing to please drop your burning questions below the comment section so that we would be able to address them. And while our subscribers are trying to formulate their questions, Now, let's just have a quick kamustahan. I think that our yoga teachers are available now. So I will try to introduce each one of them, starting, of course, with our official yoga hontas. We have here Teacher Echo. Hi, Teacher Echo. Welcome to the show.
Hi, hi, hi. Okay.
You look so kanang uh, hamis, no? Hamis kaya imong skin karon, Teacher
I
Echo.
filtered. Char. Filter is life. Ambot. Wala man ko na. Ay, basig siguro sa kuan pag shave. Makunahan na.
Lagi. So welcome, Teacher Echo.
Katon
And we
man.
have here our official Yin Yoga teacher. We have Teacher Nats. Teacher Nats, good afternoon.
Hello everyone.
Welcome to another Chica session here in our Chakra Chat. I think Teacher XT is not yet available kay iyahang mute on iyahang mic. So I will welcome Teacher XT in a few while. So how are you guys? Ay, there. Teacher XT is here already. Welcome, Teacher XT.
Hi.
Gusto mo na i-roll niya.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
No,
Teach. How,
nag-ulan
how is
siya.
everyone doing?
Okay.
Very
So,
good.
okay ra.
So today is our
Matulog
topic
na.
would be anything about yoga. So we will be entertaining questions and comments from our students and even for those who are curious about the practice of yoga. So let's begin siguro in a quite light note. No? So we have here a comment from one of our students, Fritzi Rapadas. She says, "Hi, Sir Sam and the Chakra Yoga family." Wow. Hi, Teacher
I miss
Fritzi.
Fritzy.
And thank you
Hello.
for being one of our avid supporters
Hello.
of Chakra Yoga Studio. Sige. Perhaps we can share
Thank you
first.
so much.
Um, how, how, how did you entered into the practice of yoga? How did you start? Nabay tao nga ka nang nag-encourage in you how to join? What made you parang addicted into doing yoga practice? No? Can we start with Teacher Nats?
Wow. Okay, it was a long time ago, and this was way back in I think 2002 or thereabouts. And I think the very first time was really in our office. Every Thursday, I think we had little workshop in our office about creativity and other things. And one time, our boss invited this yoga teacher to come. Actually, he wasn't really a yoga teacher. He's more of a qigong teacher. And then, so he just led us into a few breathing exercises. And after that, he encouraged us to try out other things and like yoga. And then back then there was only one yoga studio in Manila. It was in Pasay Road in Makati, and it was a pink building. I just remember this, and I remember
Vivid.
going in with my friend, and my friend was also interested, so she took me with. We went together, and then we attended an Ashtanga class. Actually, I didn't know it was Ashtanga then. It's just only now when I look back. Oh, it was an Ashtanga class, and um, it was really, really good, but it was quite expensive for
Right.
our sweldo, so we only went like once a month. So, and then when I went back to Cagayan, I just bought the or I bought some some VCDs pa nun, VCDs and then DVDs. I continued on with my practice, and later on there was a gym that offered classes, so I would go, and so there.
Yeah. So thank you for your boss for introducing you somehow to breathing and yoga at the onset. Thank you, Teacher Nat. Let's now proceed to Teacher Echo. Teach, how did you start going and doing yoga?
I think I have mentioned this before that yoga was introduced to me accidentally. So
Yeah.
moto as koan I was I used to bake moto. I used to bake na injured akong kamot. Ako specifically akong right wrist kay wala gitarong o masa ang fondant icing. So moto, actually, before that, I think I was aware of what yoga was about. Pero little lang gid kay akong knowledge kay I really thought it was just kuan siya kanang women's fitness. Specifically women's fitness yun. Okay. Mostly man gud akong gakakit-an sa kanang magazines and then sa mga marketing staff siguro or mga makitaan sa kuan and some celebrities at siguro na sa mga TV shows ma-mention nila I'm doing yoga mga sa isa siguro is katong kuan kaning Big Bang Theory kato si Penny and then I think nasa siguro yung mga other celebrities or it was just mentioned in a show that they do yoga. And then mostly manggod ang nag-mention ato is mga celebrities. So moto thinking all the while moral abi na ako kuan siya women's fitness lang yun siya pero moto as I was exposed na katong Google is my friend na murag daghan na di siya celebrity especially male celebrities like, for example si Adam Levine, si Sting, si Robert Downey Jr., si LeBron James, and then kisa pa yung other mga at least mura siya na dito ko slightly na encourage na I thought nga ang yoga is for women pero it's for everybody man digit siya. So moto then as I become a teacher murag mas na widen akong knowledge nga it was that yoga was being made or was originated siya way back thousands of years ago and it was only ang mga yogis back then or they call themselves as mystics mga lalaki sila mostly and then I think I haraman siguro na introduce ang yoga for women when it was introduced to the Western culture and then more than siya nag-spread out na yun. This is what I know. This is what I was informed. So moto, medyo na, I think during the 70s daw siguro or 60s, more siya na popularized mostly sa mga women celebrities. Kay, ay haram daw ka maka-yoga before kung elite ka. So, mo na mga elite famous celebrities back then daw sa Hollywood. So moto, pero karon ano naman kaayo ko then muna common misconception man god is ay di mo ko kabalo mag-yoga kay di mo ko flexible, dili man ko ina nakakusgan, di mo ko maka headstand pero dili mo that's the usual feedback that I get ko na wala biya ko nagsugod nga na nag-headstand din ko diretso wala ba ko nagsugod na maka-split diretso the last time I could do the split grade 4 ano pa so marag nabalik lang na maka-split na din ko kay 2 years ago man siguro so flexibility ang muscle man good is more siya it has a brain of its own so as you mo practice lang yun siya mo dagin niya imong muscles, imong flexibility, it would come back. It's all coming back to me now, Charles. Yeah. So mo to kuan as I progress murag naganahan sa din ko. I was encouraged by some people, especially si Teacher Juliet and then si Tanya, and then and murag na nasalang lang ko na si Teacher Asia and Tanyan murag nasalang ko na pwede ka mag-sub para sa ako sa Gold's Gym o sa asa to sa work nga kay wala sila unavailable sila ko na hindi ko kamaluon sa flow na basta nalalagma lang ko ato sa akong first class. So pero murag dito na ako na feel nga murag ganahan man ko magtudlo, pero I had to be kuan murag a little bit knowledgeable. So mo to dig in, research, and then eventually I found a school na nag-offer og teachers training, which is Bodhi Yoga Center na sa Jensen. Plug in da yun. Well, I am not paid to plug. Anyway, so it was an experience yun, and I really enjoyed it sa akong teachers training, and I've learned a lot. So pero we should not limit ourselves sa atong pag-learn sa kung sa lang na gi-infuse sa imo or gihatag sa imo. It should not end there because ang gitudlo sa ato sa teachers training is the basic and then the fundamentals and stuff like that. And then of course there are so many books that are coming in, mga new editions and stuff like that. So it's you have kuan yun. Learning process siya ang magtudlo. If you have the desire, if you have the passion to teach, why not go ahead? So ako wala ni ano magkuno wa mo koy teachers. Unsana wala mo koy sana kanang singalan ana kanang mura ko wala koy unsana ba? Kanang teaching ability, wala koy teaching. I mean, ko lagi ko teaching skills. Wala, di ko na. Maulaw ko mag-public speak, ana. So mo to na murag na developer din siya eventually. So mo to, that's it. Fans it.
Thank you, Teacher Echo. Now let's proceed to Teacher XT. Teacher XT, kindly unmute your mic. There you go. So, Teacher XT, how did you start doing yoga? Wait, let me unmute. Teach, dili ka kadunggan, Teach, kay nakamute ka. I cannot mute your mic. There you go.
Wait. Kana okay na?
Okay na.
Okay. Wait. Hi everyone, good afternoon. I started yoga siguro mga early 2000 po. Ano actually akong sa'yo, the first person who invite sa ako was Janet. Nagid ang salaan anitanan ano na ako sa yoga. Ako ay nag-join ng to. I think I was in my college that time. Nag-thesis ko ato nga panahon. So my first yoga class was in Clark Hatch sa Ketkay. Wala na siya karon. So dato nag-start akong sa akong yoga journey. Accidentally na yun siya. And then pagkahuman ato, ginaano din ako siya nga every weekend kung nakoy time kay of course at college kaya ba ka mag-save, and then during those times kanang manage gihapon mo kay school, and of course you doing other stuff that you want to do, and then pagkahuman ato na stop siya. So naay murag short murag ano siya parang sa tawag ana murag bitag hiatus siya for quite a while, kay after that nag-work naman ko, so I went to Manila. And then nabalik dayon siya in 2011. That was the time na naglabay ko sa park in Legazpi in Makati. So tungod ato na koy nakita nga nag-practice na group of yogis. Ano sila like I think it was a Saturday. I can't remember. Basta kay 2011 siya, and then after ato I was with my office mate. Later I found out yung gi-search unsa to sila na group. Yan yung gi-send sa ko ang link. And then ang katulad sa na group was the family nga kung I've been volunteering. Kami na Echo volunteer pod me, which is the Yoga for Life. So dadto nag-start akong practice. And then I started practicing. Ako din gipangita si Paulo. So Paulo was my first teacher gid na every weekend gid ko mag-join. So I started with his class with Paulo Lunido, and then after ana mga siguro 2012 iulit na din ko din CDO. So But kato nga time, ano pagyapon siya, murag typical lang gud siya na mag-practice lang, like dili gid siya nga kanang heart-based practice.
Yeah.
So, iabot ang time pod na in 2012, I think ni giadto ko sa formerly Body Basic, which is the one yoga na karon. So dito ko nag-start
Mm.
yun, nag-invite ko, and then akong first na storya was Teacher Juliet. And then dito nag-start po, like, eventually balhin sila in 2013, 2014, nag-transfer ang Body Basic. Then nahimo siyang One Yoga. Dito na yun. And ang isa sa akong teacher yun nga grabe ka tutok nga akong maka-enjoy nga grabe ka teacher aside from Juliet, of course, Teacher Julie Ang, and then Julie Bonita was Teacher Jang. I don't know kung nag-practice pa ba siya karon, but she was really dito ko na-inspire sa iya kay siya manggid ang grabe magud iyang practice. Ang iyang lifestyle nga I think she
Right.
was vegan for a long time, and then dato din ko nag-start na resonate sa akong Ashtanga nga practice. So it was with Jang, and daghan nga to marag taud-taud mi ang isa sa akong madumduman at mga classmate na ako kasi sila Chris Buntag, si Teacher Nats. I think ga-join po na siya kang Jang before. So si Teacher Jang dito ang kauna nga grabe, and then sila to ang ga-push before kay the yoga community with Tanya. Tanya was also my teacher. Teacher Lynn Bu and and Teacher Will G, of course, is the first. And sila gito ang pantauna ka ng supportive kaayo in terms of that. Then eventually in 2014, alit lang, wala lang, you will know mga good when it's time that you ang calling dito of you teaching, and then ang
Right.
ako upod is the more that you involve yourself in teaching, and then the more you do karma yoga or advocacy classes, lahi siya, it's different. And of course the journey continues, and then in 2017 I worked with Beyond in Manila, so mas nag-deepen akong practice kay I met a lot of yogis and lain nga practice, so until then I came back na po. So very yogi akong life kay sige lakaw-lakaw. Di ko makapuyo agad yung kabalo sila nga nara ko din then suddenly na nasugod dito. So
Oh.
I think that's very normal for yogis gid nga mag panang go somewhere, and then then pag ako sang ganan ato kay whenever I go to places makatudlo gid ko ba din, like I teach in Camiguin, nakatudlo ko sa Iligan, also in Cebu, mga other places bitaw na di mo expect. The practice is, and of course the more that you go into the practice, the more pud nga that you kag learning every day, like all of
Mm.
the poses. Ay mga poses before na parang I know na yung mga reason nga din ako siya mahimo right now. So siya, I think it's always the process. It's how you go into the pose. I think
Yeah.
mo na siya akong summary sa akong yoga journey, Teacher Sam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Teacher
Quite a
XT.
long, no?
Sige, I think Teacher Echo and Teacher Nats mentioned some of the practical sides of yoga. I'm sure that there are a lot of people tuning in right now, and they might be interested to know how much do we really need to spend in joining a yoga session? Because there are a lot of fitness activities that are more accessible and libre pa, like jogging or walking. No, how much do a person who wanted to do yoga need to prepare for him or her to attend a yoga session? Teacher
Yoga
Echo.
session.
Yes.
Ano to? How much a person should spend sa
Sa yoga session para maka-appeal siya.
appeal sa
Kay,
class?
maka-appeal
Or
sa class. Kay ang uban manggod, they are not so aware like how much do they need to really spend,
mm it depends sa kuan sa studio, and then the location of the studio, especially if ang like for example sa Manila medyo expensive gid sila dito, and then at the same time expensive sad ang rates sa teachers, and then sometimes you have to consider also the ang teachers training manggod kay more gyapon siya kag nag-eskwela og medicine in a way because you have to really have to study the anatomy and then of course kanang mga range of motion
Anatomy.
sa mga fitness stuff o now more so
Hala.
Nawala
We
siya.
need to strengthen the connection.
Wala siya.
Strengthen the connection. Anyway, I will just jump off from
Sure,
Teacher
sure,
Echo.
sure that.
Um, that's also true. Like especially here in Cagayan de Oro, we don't teach for the money because dili gyud dili makabuhi ang sweldo sa yoga teacher in Cagayan de Oro, honestly. So we all have, well, I think we do have our day jobs, right?
Right.
And so as a student, count yourself lucky that you're in Cagayan de Oro because the rates are much cheaper than in Manila. I mentioned before that the first time I tried yoga was in 2002, and their drop-in rate back then in 2002 is even more expensive than our current drop-in rate
How much
in
teach?
2020. It was 350.
Yeah,
Well, actually
mahal na
true,
yan.
yeah.
So
It's like a
yeah,
thousand.
and now the drop-in rate is, I think in one of the last yoga studio that I attended in Manila, it was 800.
Yeah, 800. Correct,
It was
correct.
800. So and that's not even like, that's just a regular vinyasa class, not even an aerial anti-gravity yoga or anything. But anyways, here in Cagayan, I would recommend that you go for a package class. So get like whatever packages the studio or the gym offers, like a 10 session package, because you'll get more value for your money that way than if you do the drop in. Then if you just do drop ins. So, and these are usually I don't know about other studios. I don't know how much Chakra Yoga would actually charge. I don't know, but around
Not yet.
2,000 to 2,500 a month, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. And then I think that what our viewers need to para maximize as of the moment are the free virtual classes like what we're
Yes,
having. No?
correct,
Again, thank you
correct.
for our sponsors for sponsoring the Chakra Yoga Studio virtual classes. How about you, Teacher XT? You've been to Manila as well, and you've been teaching. You taught in Beyond Yoga. Am I correct?
No, no, I've worked with Beyond, and then yeah, tama si teacher na the rate there is ingana gyud 100. And for the classes, way back katong time na I started at 1,000. So nagi different, and then in Cebu it's different too. So in other places ano gyud siya depende gid if unsa na siya ang panugar sa city ba. But ingana magid ang ano siya for ano manggo that's really mograg mao na gid ang ano na gid na rates bitaw kanang mapamoy ginakuan gid labi na sa big cities. So with Cagayan de Oro, I think same to with Cebu, with Davao, ingana. Same to og rates.
Yeah. And
Ano
I
man sa
think
Echo?
that nana si Echo, pero I'm not sure if madunggatan niya. H Echo, are you here? Mura galisod pa siya kung anen.
Windy where you are.
Okay, we don't have a comment yet, so we are inviting all our viewers now. There are 6 of them, so please ask questions so that we'll be able to address them. Shout out to Christine Masifa, who have been tagging people. I hope that you can also drop in your questions as well. Earlier, sayang si Teacher Echo
Yeah,
sana.
feel free to ask any
Si
question.
Teacher Echo sana yung i-ask ko about this question. Kasi, di ba, Teacher Echo saw pictures of women doing yoga. Why is it so
Mm.
popular? Why is it so popular among women and not really with men?
I think it's
Weird siya,
about
no?
this.
I think it's ano siguro, it's with the, yeah, or ano, flexibility mo may issue sa mga men or sa ba?
Sige, let's
In the
address
first
that, Teacher
movement,
XT.
di ba, the
Do
first
you need to
practitioners of
be
men.
do you need to be flexible to do yoga?
No, as in super no. I always tell my students it's super no no. That the reason that you need to practice yoga is so that you'll be flexible. Ako when I started practicing, I can't reach my toes. As in, super unflexible yun ko. It ano lang yun, parang it takes time for you to be flexible.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
amazing siya na feeling when you're there, when you it's the pose, but being flexible is not. As in, dili gid siya requirement. For ang requirement is you dedicating yourself to the practice and ang ano pwede is ang pag-alisod ang pag-start sa practice. Pag-start sa practice of ang pag ano di ba having the discipline and consistency to the practice. So kana siya. Those are the basic yun nga pinaka-important na mahibaw-an nimo parang if you are interested with yoga kasagara man god others are interested because they want to learn the pose, they want to get into that pose, but eventually when change mo good siya, I change it within good say okay, that depend. So nga na, most of the students din nakaka-encounter na ako, very common na siyang nga na nga mga no-show.
Yeah.
Go, teacher Nat.
Teacher Nat, for someone who is very flexible, no? Do you really need to be flexible to do yoga? Or were you flexible
Um,
before you started yoga?
no, I was not. I wasn't. Yeah, like actually, I don't think I reached my toes. But I could reach my toes back then when I started. But it's not a requirement, but it is an after effect, or it's like a side effect of the practice. So it's not a prerequisite. It is an effect. So
Right.
you get the flexibility that you need after some time, after practicing for a while. And as for like the women thingy, about women, well, maybe because considering other fitness forms of fitness or other fitness activities, yoga is pretty. I mean, there's grace, there's
Right,
beauty
right.
in the poses, and there's a certain um uh, I suppose glorification of the human form, for example, and and I guess women are tend to be attracted to beautiful things, but other than that, but it doesn't matter what attracts you initially to yoga, whether it's a picture or a pose or music or an article. What matters is what keeps you there, and eventually, um, like in many other things, your intentions will get purified along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Ikaw talaga, Teacher Nat, you're so artsy. Sige, I want Teacher Echo, madunggan na.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
So back.
So I want you to
Arrange
answer
location.
Ms. Fritzy Rapadas's question. Generally, how long do you practice yoga till you achieve full flexibility and balance? Hala, nawala na po siya. Sige, Teacher XP, maybe you can answer this. Teacher
How
Fritzy's
long did you
question.
practice?
how long did you practice yoga till you achieve full flexibility and balance? And do we really ever can achieve that full flexibility that we wanted?
How long? Ano siya, it really depends on your practice. Like for example, in Ashtanga practice, 'di ba in Ashtanga it's 6 times a week and then my rest day. But kung sa it's how you give in your time yun. Ang time ang pinaka-important kaya I have in my experience I had a practice year siguro 2 years ago or a year or last year. Yung practice ko 3 times a day. So depende gyud siya sa imuha kung naa kay time. Ang time ang pinaka-important kasi pwede ka mag-practice early in the morning. Pwede ka mag-practice, pwede ka mag-back-to-back classes, ano ba? So, ang pag-achieve mo good sa flexibility is you will get there good kung ano na, kung may bawaan na mong okay, murag, you will know mong good because, for example, na kay post na sa una galisod ka, but when you are really practicing, keep on practicing, kurap na lang din kang murag, oh, lahi na siya, kaya na nimo siya na post. So, I think it's really about you giving your time and in practicing yoga. So, wala siya timeline. Depende sa imuha kung sa imong timeline for yourself. Like, ang uban, mag-challenge of 21 days, challenge of ano, but with my experience, years yun siya, oy. It's taon-taon. Taon-taon siya bago niyo makuha yun. And it's a long process. It's how,
Yeah.
it's the journey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
Sige,
may,
teacher Nat.
if I may jump in, yeah, Teacher X is correct. You can't put a timeline on it. It's really every body is different, and although you will see some
Mm.
effects within a month or so, like little changes, but how big those changes or how big those improvements are, it really depends on your body, depends on you, and I can tell you, like right now, I am still not. I mean, I'm still working on my flexibility, and definitely, I'm still working on my balance. So, yeah, even after a decade, more than a decade of practice, I'm still not there.
And it's
Yeah.
okay, di ba? It's okay. It's really
Yeah,
And
part
it's
yeah.
of
Yeah,
okay,
it's okay.
yes.
And part of the
Madunggan
process,
ako
I guess,
ninyo.
is accepting that.
yes, teacher Echo, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
accepting your body,
Pero wala lagi ko
accepting where you are at this moment.
Yeah. Sige, teacher Echo. You mentioned that when you were in grade 4, you were able to do your split.
Mm.
And
Mm.
are you still able to do that now?
Yeah, the split, yes. Na-achieve na nako balik. Oh,
So
splitaay
it's
na ang
really
show.
going back to your original state of
Oh,
body,
pero,
parang ganon.
oh, oh, in a way. Pero, when I do the splits, nagya po yung medyo tightness gamay. Ay, di pa gid siya ka namura o dili pa gid ako makaingon nga it's the full split that I would be able to do pa. Pero it's getting there. It's a process yun. It's a kuan yun siya kanang little by little steps kanang baby steps yun siya nga kuan. Okay, kuan flexibility wala gyapon kuan. I wasn't able to I could not even touch my toes back then. And then at the same time, mga katang kanang inverted prayer pose, mga inana, lisod kaayo. And then
Mga
kanang
bind.
uh, o mga binds o kanang
The
binds
bind.
o last year ko lang nagisugdan ang bind pero proper lang gid siya nga alignment and execution and then
Wala.
Okay.
Na ay mga questions. We have
How about
questions.
Teacher Sam? You haven't shared about your your
How I
journey.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
actually, I started because June asked me to join teacher Mitch's class. It's what was that class? Pilates. And then
Uh-huh.
sobrang hirap. Of course, we were still in the girlfriend boyfriend stage. You need to
Really?
really try whatever kung sa'y gusto, no? So nag-try gyud ko, sakit gyud akong lawas kay wala pa yung anad akong lawas for such an activity. By the way, Teacher Mitch is watching, no? Here.
Yeah, hi,
Uh,
Teacher Mitch.
si Teacher Mitch ang akong first gyud nga kuan nga na teacher. And then eventually, it became so addicting, no? Like ginapangita sa imong lawas. It's if you don't do your yoga in a day, there's something kulang, no? Parang you just wanted to practice every day. Until I had Teacher Honey as our teacher for intro to yoga when she was still starting in One Yoga. She was June and I had her as a classmate and then natingala na lang mi na teacher na pud di ay siya. And then we have Teacher Juliet and of course Teacher Nat for Yin Yoga. I'm amazed kung unsa ka flexible si Teacher Nat. I was challenged and then I took some online classes for me to be able to learn more the practice and yeah, and until now because of the pandemic, murag that has been part of my routine already. It's so kana.
Correct.
Hmm.
Sige, I think wait lang I will just post the comment of Teacher Mitch. Really, Teacher Sam? Haha, yes, Teach. Ikaw yun ang salaan. Okay, we have a question here from Golda. Is yoga safe even for people with high blood pressure? O, since
Ah,
mga naging doktor naman, no? Because you've studied
mm,
anatomy, sige, panindigan natin. Is
For
yoga
naman.
safe
oo
even
eh.
for people with high blood pressure?
Mm. Ako yung mo,
I have
storya.
high blood pressure.
Si Echo
So
mag-answer.
safe
High
lang.
blood.
Yeah, unsa nga
Um,
level?
Oh.
I take
Hypertension or
I take my meds. Just take your meds daily.
Oh,
Take your meds daily.
ako yung storya.
Check your
Ah,
BP
sige.
and
Sure.
yeah. Maybe if you have high blood pressure, there are just certain poses that you can avoid if you're
Mm.
worried about that.
modified?
Yeah, just modify poses. Maybe keep your head above or try not to get your head below your body, so minimize the inversions. And that's mostly it for high.
No
Actually,
downward dog
Mm.
the
for high
breathing and
blood.
the
Bawal ang
slower
downward
slow
dog for high
pace.
blood.
Yeah, anything
Anything
inversion.
forward fold
But
or anything inversion,
the
as long
breathing,
as kung medyo confident na sila, kung kaya nila, or with doctor's advice,
Yeah.
pwede na.
yeah.
Pwede na.
But the
Pero,
breathing and
pero,
the slow pace is perfect for people with high blood pressure. And a lot of doctors actually
mm,
do recommend it. Like,
So
learning this kind
uh,
of a certain kind of breathing and going at a slow pace. Kasi it's low impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
So, for those who
pranayama,
have
yeah,
high blood
breathing
pressure, we
exercises.
have Yin Yoga later at 4:30 with Teacher Nat. So you can
Try.
join.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank
Join
you
our
very much for
class.
that question, Golda. Teacher XT, na question daw na nakitaan? Or wala na?
Kaganina naman to tong sa ano. I've answered other questions na.
Sige.
Namog question nga, where is chakra located? Right now, we're still digital lang kami, online classes lang sa, we don't have a physical studio. It's not yet open because of the pandemic. So, once this is over, ay pa dayon. Okay, kana where's your yoga
Uh,
studio?
our studio is located in our homes. Ano?
For
Our
now,
virtual studio for now.
virtual
Okay.
studio. So, we have four.
Sige. Kuan kanang kaganina we talked about Teacher XT I think talked about doing yoga in different time slots. One of the common questions that I also get is when do you
Hmm.
usually when is the best time to do yoga?
Anytime.
Every time.
Anytime, di ba?
Anytime
Anytime.
fitness.
Anytime.
Alright.
Yeah, anytime.
Anytime fitness.
So
Anytime
Anytime
fitness.
Fitness,
Joke lang.
please sponsor.
No, joke lang.
But the best
I
time
am
magid
not
is
paid
morning
to
magid
plug
siya.
it. Uh, uh, Early in
Pero
the morning.
kayo, what's your preference in terms of when do you usually do your yoga?
Oh,
Who's
Kasi
gonna
mo
go
na.
first?
Sige,
Ako
teacher na.
kay
Teacher na.
Oh, morning.
Morning.
Because I don't know. I like to practice when I'm still quiet. When I'm still
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
You know, everything still feels quiet. So morning is a good time to practice if I can wake up first.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about teacher XT?
For me, it's morning gihapon. Usually morning gid ang best time for practice. Like, wala pa ka nakasettle. So, di ba, parang, it's the best, first thing that you need to do, morning. But, with the pandemic, evening ko ga-practice. Okay. Ang situation ako today, we have kids. So, dili ko pwedeng morning. And then, late
Yeah.
sad ko makamata because my sleeping pattern is super gubot. Sleeping pattern lately. So,
Yeah.
ga-practice ko evening. But morning, gina akong normal lang gina in a normal na practice. I usually practice in the morning.
Sige, teacher Echo, you have a 9 a.m. class and a 9 p.m. class. So, when do you prefer?
Ako,
No?
ako usually depende sa kong mood. Ano yun? Depende sa kong mood.
So,
Usually, if
anytime.
early in the morning, the moment I wake up, nasa times kay ganahan ko between 9 to 10, pero mas night time sa jud kay ganahan ko kanang before I sleep. Kanang
Yeah.
mag-practice lang ko mga bind that flexible. Wala proper nga flow. Mura og I just want to achieve a certain bind, a certain balance, or certain asana. Then sometimes sansalute lang ko one or two mura downward dogs usahay, and then usahay gani kay diretso ko headstand. Inana na ako feeling.
So, depende sa
Planks ka.
disposition at the moment. Oh, nawala na po. Okay, just a comment from one of our viewers, Teacher Mitch. Kabibo ninyo, oy. Nakikisaw-saw lang po. It's okay, Teacher Mitch.
Appeal.
You are always welcome. We will be flashing your comments once in a while if you have one. Join lang, Teacher Mitch. Okay, sige. So ako, in my case, because of work, I usually choose afternoon. The 5:30 classes, June and I usually attend. But because of the pandemic, because napaka-weird ng schedule, we now practice in the morning so that we can do a lot of things along the day. So yeah, so you can practice really any time of the day. It really depends on your context. It really depends on how
Yeah.
you feel. Ika nga ni po ang Teacher Echo. Now, let's continue talking about, yes, Teacher
Nalo
Echo.
ko add gamay. Usually morning is medyo tight yun kaya ako mga muscles.
Wala, saan sa nato siya?
Hello, Kaoy.
You're audible.
So, Teacher Echo, we'll just re-enter you in a while. Maybe you can fix your connection first. Sige, there's a question here. They're very interested to know what chakra means. So, Golda wanted to know, not sure if this has already been asked, what does chakra mean? Teacher XT, what does chakra mean?
Ako gyud. Sige na guys. Well, chakra is very familiar in the yoga practice. It's kung sa ano pa na siya, it's the energy points magud na ang chakra. So we base the name chakra yoga is kung magud siya parang we ask our friends kung saang marag papalugar in a yoga studio mong good na setting or in creating a studio, dapat mo siya ano ba, na retention. So, kung naka sa yoga community or you're practicing yoga, when you heard of the word chakra, it's a Sanskrit word also. So, very ano siya ba, parang familiar siya. And then, chakra, as I've said a while ago, is energy points na sa atong body. So, it's the subtle energy na nakaline na siya. I think when you Google it, makita ninyo yung explanation nito. And then, most of the yoga practitioners, ang giningon na mo ana is, for example, you're para having a bad day, so that means imong chakra is dili align, mga nga na biglang stuff. So, that's the reason nga we came up with the name chakra yoga. So, very simple lang yun as to yoga. Not the very, parang, ang upan mo they thought it's the opposite of it's more of bapalugar lahi siya nga level ba or nanap ito nga meaning, but basically it's about alignment with your breathing, your yoga practice, o kung sa manggaling imong gusto kahimon uh, in your yoga journey.
So, in other words, chakra means the energy points in our body, and how aligned are these energy points will determine our kind of disposition in how we do our practice, right? Teacher Nats, you want to add something?
Oh, yeah. I think that's it. Basic meaning of chakra, and like we have a lot of these energy centers in the body, but the main ones are located along the spine. And each chakra, each of these main chakra, it corresponds to a certain type of energy, and you'll get into that. You'll experience it more as you go and practice your yoga.
Okay. Sige. Guys, nawala si Teacher XT. So, I think Teacher Nat and Teacher Echo, okay na yung connection?
Nakabalik na ko. Hello.
Oh, yes. Nana ka. So, we have another question here.
Hello.
How often should you do yoga in a week for best results?
Hello. Ano to?
Yes. How often should you do yoga in a week for best results? Teacher Echo.
Hello.
Hi.
Teacher
Hello.
Echo, malungkad.
Sorry, I'm back. Okay, go Echo.
Okay, I think
How often, sige na nga, kayo yung problema sa Echo. Ano siya, siguro
Sige.
for a starter or for kung start ka sa practice, you can do at least twice or thrice a week. That's okay. Pero kung di good kaya, once a week is fine. But karon nga panahon, pwede ka mag-everyday.
Yeah. And they can actually repeat the
Okay,
video.
diba? We have all the time right now.
Yeah.
Yes, pwede mo balik-balikon good until ka napaka-energy.
Yeah. Sige, thank you very much, Fritzy, for that question. So, let's continue our medical Okay, daghan good questions actually. I led a chair yoga for the Department of Education. And then some of our teachers in the public school are asking the following, which I think you might want, you guys would be able to help us in sharing some of the responses to this. Special cases, can a pregnant woman do yoga?
Depends what kind of yoga.
So kung
guys,
pregnant ka, what are the yogas na pwede?
Wait lang. Disclaimer lang, contrary to what some people believe, we are not medical experts. So whatever we say is not medical advice, guys. So consult your doctor if you have any medical questions. as for pregnancy, yeah, because pregnant woman's body is in flux, and there are hormones that are present in the pregnant woman's body that are not usually there or are just in lower amounts. And basically, the things that to watch out for is to not, if you're practicing yoga, you can practice any kind actually in the first trimester. You can practice as you would normally do,
Yeah.
but don't push yourself beyond your normal level, your normal limit. So stay in your level. Don't experiment with new poses. Don't push yourself to, new levels of flexibility because your body is extra soft and extra
Sensitive.
flexible
Sensitive.
and extra sensitive during pregnancy. Um, things poses to avoid generally as a general rule, you don't want anything that puts pressure on the belly. So when you do your forward dance, create space. So
Mm-mm.
widen the legs. So para dili siya maipit. So that's the basic rule. And then as for the second and third trimester, like it's best to consult your OB to see what she would recommend for your particular body at this particular time.
Right. Sige, how about senior citizen? Teacher XT, senior citizen, pwede?
Pwede, pero on minimal poses lang. Okay? I know nga naamagay ka ng yoga for old people, then ano lang siya, kanang usually daghan support, 'di ba? Teacher Nat, and then I know teacher Echo knows this, pag senior, it's very very ano good. Dili as soon as possible, very very low impact and less na mga poses ang pwede. I would
So mga
advise that. Okay?
pranayama.
Importante mo gyapon nga. Yeah, and then na yung mga movement pero very minimal, and then also lahi na ba yung ilang body compared sa ato ano ng body nga we're young pa. So get change man gud ang atong body from time to
Chair
time.
yoga
So
is
with
advisable for senior citizens.
Correct. Kay may
pwede,
some
yeah.
support.
Depends then on
Hmm.
the fitness level because
And then also
there are a lot of very active seniors these days. So
seated poses.
depends
Hmm.
then.
Sige, how about those with major operations? Magpagaling
Consult your
muna.
doctor.
Wait,
Ask your doctor
Yes, go
first.
ahead from your doctor.
Ask your doctor first. That's it. If the doctor will allow. Kinda good.
Ito, scoliosis. Ang
Pinaka-important.
dami, scoliosis.
Scoliosis, yes. Basically
Yeah, it's
because
very
in
good
yoga
actually.
we do a lot of spine work for yoga,
Yeah.
so a lot yes, just watch out for pain signals from your body, and of course consult your doctor.
Yes, always consult your doctor first for clearance, no? Before you practice your yoga, especially for those with specific conditions, right? Okay, of course, in a class, we always give general instructions. So unless you have like a personalized yoga teacher or a private class, right? Teacher XT, are you still with us? I think wala
Ay,
si Kitanduan na lang yun.
another one bites the dust.
Okay. Can we lose weight in doing yoga?
Depends what kind of yoga you do.
In my case, just to answer that question, in my case, I really lost a lot of weight because of yoga. Primarily because I think that the yoga practice is a sustainable type of exercise for me. Unlike with, for example, I'm not bad mouthing any type of other exercises. There are a lot of exercises na after mo mag-exercise, kakain ka talaga. And I think that yoga is not that kind of exercise for me na after practicing, kakain ako. I don't know for the others, but for me, when I do yoga, I eat less because it's very relaxing. I don't know, teacher Nat, how about you?
Sorry. um, I don't know. I just love to eat. So I think you can say that I would be bigger
Yeah.
now. I would weigh more if I didn't practice yoga. So I just think of it that way because I do like to eat. And me and other teachers, there are some other teachers where like we eat after practicing.
I'm back.
We eat after teaching.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, but uh, at, yeah, I did lose weight when I was, I don't know, when I was attending yoga classes regularly. And
Parang hindi
yeah,
ka convinced. Teacher
What was
XT,
the question?
do
I
you
did. It
usually
was
lose
because
weight doing yoga?
Depende on what yoga na imong gina-practice.
Sige
Like
daw,
if
what type of
um
yoga mga
if
paniwang?
kung go to Ashtanga class, power nga na
So,
vinyasa.
yeah,
power
Para
yoga
gid.
is
Depende man
our
siya.
So for those na gusto
Dagan
make
gaat-ano sa
sure
ko
na
it's
attend
normal
Teacher
question.
XT's class tomorrow at 2:30. Okay? Sige, we have a question here.
Oo,
Where is
pero depende gid on what yoga. Mm.
from Fritzy again. For me to be motivated, may I know what inspires you to do yoga practice? Sige, I'll start the question. I think
Ay,
I'll start answering the
very
question.
nice question.
I think that what inspires me to do yoga is that it's a common activity that my wife and I do. So for us, yoga seems to be like our everyday date, no? Kana ang amo ang how we treat yoga. That's why we get
Mm.
to be motivated to do yoga. At the same time, my secondary motivation is really to lose weight. No, I was able to lose weight a lot, no, because of doing yoga. As I mentioned, it is something that I tend to practice with that is sustainable for me. I don't usually eat after I do yoga. My tendency after doing yoga is to sleep, no? So usahay malimtan na gid ako ang pagkaon. So kana. How about Teacher
Wala.
XP?
Motivated me because yoga brings you to parang you are more aware of yourself pod, and then man good, yoga helps you to slow down with what's happening, and then sad, yoga helps you to remember how to breathe properly. So yeah, kana lang, very basic man siya. Of course, part na mga losing weight, flexibility, mga add-ons na sila in the
Yeah.
when you're in your yoga practice, but those are the things that very very dili siya makita ba, dili visible lugar. So that's for me sa motivation for my yoga practice.
How about Teacher Nats?
when I was starting my yoga practice, what kept me going was that sense of amazement in every yoga practice of discovering myself, discovering my body. Because growing up, I was
Mm.
never the athletic physical type. I was not at all. I was like the bookish. I was the kind of the games I would play were not kanang lakag-lakag na mga games. It was more like puzzles and uh basta ni like tic-tac-toe or basta
Less
checkers, for
physical.
example. Board games, yeah. I was a board games girl more than an outdoors girl. And what yoga helped me discover was my body and appreciating my own body, my own physicality, and it made me connected to my body in a way that I never was before. And I appreciated this connection with my body on a very deep, even spiritual level. And that's what inspired me to
Mhm.
continue practicing and now to even teach yoga.
Yeah, I agree. No, with Teacher Nat and with Teacher XT that more than the yoga being a physical exercise, it challenges not just your body but also your mind and your spirit into be to be harmonized and to be more balanced. No, and I think that's another murag unique flavor of yoga as compared to other exercises there is, right? Sige. Another question, do I need to be vegetarian to practice yoga? I'm not vegetarian
No,
at all.
no, I think
I like
no.
my steaks. I like my lechon.
So you don't need to be
Yeah,
vegetarian.
no. No,
Pwede
no,
din
no.
tayo.
It depends on you.
Oh. But I
Mindful
guess,
eating siguro.
correct, mindful eating, no? Pero pwede rin cheat days.
Yeah, diba? As long as it makes you feel good. Ganun lang.
Yeah. Sige. Do we have more questions? I think we have answered most of the questions from our viewers already. Ikaw, Teacher XT, meron ka pa bang mga question there?
Wala naman siguro kay questions. Sige lang, we can still, if ever others will ask, we can answer naman online and then we can have another round of this.
Yeah,
Perhaps next month or at least once a month. Mag-inganit.
yeah,
Kasi indefinite
correct,
pa ba ya, di ba? We don't know kung saan mo balik tanan. So,
correct.
welcome to the online world. Yeah.
But we are very excited because our guest for next week will be Teacher Honey, who will be talking about kids yoga. Because there's also one of the things that
Yeah, so stay
one of
tuned.
the
Kids
things that
yoga.
some of our subscribers are asking, no? Pwede ba sa mga bata yoga? Yes, everyone can really do yoga.
Very.
In fact, in a lot of schools that I know, like in Xavier Grade School, we are actually introducing little by little, the concept of yoga as a form of mindfulness and being more aware of themselves. No? So it's very interesting to note that next week we'll be having a kids yoga teacher, Teacher Hani, for another conversation in our chakra chat. So any
Yeah,
final words?
exciting.
Just to end our yoga chakra chat session for today, any final words for those who are quite hesitant to try yoga? Any advice to our subscribers and viewers? Teacher Nat.
Thank you for asking your questions, especially to Fritzy and Golda. And thank you, Teacher Mitch, for being so supportive.
And Teacher Nats will be having her class later at 4:30. Hope you can join. Teacher XT, any final words of advice?
Please continue. Ano la, just go with your practice. So wherever you are in the practice, pwede balag, for example, at for today, kanina sa imong mahimo, even just 10 or 5 minutes, that's yoga. It doesn't matter if unsa nakataas imong level sa practice lugar. As long as you are mindful and then important that you move. Because right now, movement is very important. So for those who are new to yoga, just check our videos, kato mga previews, pwede ninyo balikan, you can replay, and then if you have other questions, feel free to PM any of us. So, ayaw lang kaulaw. And then, ang practice mag-start magud sa imuha. So you need to cultivate that practice, and we are here to guide you, and of course that everyone will grow with us, and also as humubalik ng tanan, we will be seeing you in the studio. So that's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Teacher XT. Just a note of gratitude from Fritzy. Thank you so much. It was an informative, inspiring, and valuable session. I look forward for the next session. Thank you very much, Fritzy, for engaging us with your questions, especially since you are the ones who started the questions in this particular discussion. So we also thank our viewers who dropped in their comments, Golda, Pearl, Teacher Mitch. So salamat kayo for joining us. This has been another informative and really engaging session to discuss anything about yoga. So next week, please continue watching Chakrachat as we have Teacher Honey as our guest teacher. Will be sharing her practice as a kids yoga teacher. So once again, good afternoon, everyone, and namaste.
Namaste.
And we're done.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you,
Bye.